The government's unveiled its plan of action to clean up rivers and lakes around the country, but farmers already feel under attack. The proposed strategy, now out for consultation, would usher in a crackdown on land intensification and much tougher limits for nitrogen in waterways. All farms would need management plans addressing water quality, and there could be mandatory fencing and winter grazing standards. The opposition says it's a disaster for farmers and the economy. Here's our Deputy Political Editor Craig McCulloch.
All three government parties campaigned on cleaning up the country's waterways. Today, the Environment Minister, David Parker, laid out his plan to do it.
The overwhelming majority of New Zealanders want us to act. They want to be able to swim in their local river in summer, to put their head under without the risk of getting crook.
The plan sets new standards for swimmability, tougher requirements for reducing nitrate pollution. It puts farmers squarely in the hot seat, with tighter rules around feedlots and keeping stock out of waterways. From June next year, they'll also find it much harder to intensify. No new irrigation or dairy conversions, unless farmers can prove it won't pollute. The Agriculture Minister, Damien O'Connor, with a clear message.
What I want to see is best practice become normal practice.
The proposal's already stirring up disquiet, with federated farmers saying the sector's being thrown under the tractor, and says the targets are unnecessarily stringent, effectively unachievable, and will force farmers out of business. Beef and Lamb says it's being disproportionately punished, and Dairy NZ's Tim Mackle is warning of waning confidence.
This will be quite scary to farmers, quite frankly, in the sense that there's a lot going on for them right now.
The opposition lining up with those sector groups. National MP Todd Muller says the plan is a gut punch to the industry, a hammer blow to the economy.
We are simply not rich enough as a country to suggest that 60% of our exports should go south because of over-ambition around water quality.
But the government rejects suggestions of widespread closures.
That's a ridiculous statement.
It's an absurd suggestion.
Mr O'Connor says many farmers are already doing the right thing, proving it is possible. And he points to a $230 million fund to help farmers with the transition.
I don't think any farmer wants to see further degradation of the aquifers. They've been running in a system that's allowed them to do that. They haven't had clear guidelines. What we're now moving to do is to give those guidelines to try and prevent any further degradation. I think there'll be support for that, but the farmers do need to know clearly what they have to do.
The Freshwater Leaders Group, set up by the government to provide advice, says some of the reactions have been extreme. Its chair, John Pino, the founder of Sinlay Milk, accepts some farmers in the worst areas will need to change their way of farming. But he says that's nothing new.
Leading farmers change the way they're farming all the time. They're all learning, they're very capable, they're running sophisticated businesses, and they have, I have no doubt that they'll be able to cope with these changes, and they already are. The leading farmers are doing all of these things.
He thinks most farmers, once they've had time to digest the proposals, will consider them fair. But the strength of feeling so far suggests it won't be an easy sell. From Parliament for Checkpoint, Craig McCulloch.